All right, we're back here with Mesopotamia again. We mentioned warfare, a lot of warfare going on here. And probably in its ancient form, city versus city. One city would see another city and be jealous of it for some reason, and you're going to have a lot of warfare. Again, the Royal Standard of Ur shows a lot of warfare, and then other things we've found show a lot of warfare here. So a lot of warfare, we believe, city versus city. And this is where you're going to start seeing government come up. We think their ancient government might have been a theocracy of these religious men, and it doesn't take long for it to shift over toward kingship, the idea of a strongest warrior being your king. Who was he? Who would be your king? The guy who commands your defense or leads your army. You need this guy. He's tough. The other men follow him. He would become your king. The word for this is a monarchy. When you elect, or not elect, but when you have one man assert himself, it's called a monarchy. And then if you go on with the family ties, we use the word monarchy. The next level of society would be the warriors, the men who fight in the front lines to defend your city. This would give them a noble status. We use the word aristocracy. These are words you need to know: monarchy, aristocracy. So if you are a warrior, it's a good life there. You could be an aristocrat, and your family would become elite, and your children could become elite. Next level of society were the priests. Again, this is a privileged class, a man who can predict the future, who can study the stars, connect with the gods. And it wouldn't take too long for the kings to recognize that, be a good connection there if you're going to be king, to have the people on your side, have the priest on your side. So, again, these three levels of society, king, warriors, and priests, maybe 10% of the population. The other 90%, what are they doing? They're working for survival, just working and working. Now, a lot of times when you think about the ancient world, you'll have a king. If you see a movie or something, you might have a king riding around and bashing heads and stuff. Probably not the way things happened. If you were king of a city, you would want the people to love you. You want them to do better, because that means you're going to make more money also through taxation. You would promote commerce. You wouldn't go around killing valuable people of your society. You would actually want to promote them because you want money from taxation. You want nice things. And when a king takes over, he's going to want to live in a nice house and have nice things, and that means you're going to have an influx of luxury. Part of it from attacking other cities, maybe some of it through trade, and so they would actually promote trade, kings would. You're also going to have slavery. I'm going to mention slavery here. It exists throughout the ancient world, pretty much in every culture, and it arises mostly from warfare, when one city wages war against another city, and it's usually the warriors. When you choose to be a warrior, grab a weapon and go to war, it's a high risk, high return here, because you might win the war, in which case you'll be promoted in higher levels of society, and if you lose the war, lose a battle, you could be enslaved. So that's the slavery in the ancient world, through warfare. Well, as kings battle each other, you might eventually have a king who conquers several cities, and that's where the word empire is going to come from. King of one city, and then empire of a larger area, emperor of a larger area. So thousands of years, we believe, they're battling king versus king, and then eventually the arrival of an empire. And we actually have documentation of this when you start building these kingdoms together. Another thing that I want to talk about is that this is the Mesopotamia. This is like a bug light drawing every barbaric person around toward it. You're going to have constant migrations toward Mesopotamia. And the reason is because of Asia. It's part of Asia. Asia is a gigantic continent, and we believe that the area of present-day Russia and Mongolia was just a human production ground, and then these people will flow down into China, and China will build a wall to keep them out. They can't get into India because of the Himalayas. They tend to be channeled toward this area, so you're going to have constant migrations of barbarians from Asia into Mesopotamia, invading, of migrating people, and they're uncivilized. Once we get to civilization here, about 4000 BC, these people coming in are uncivilized. And actually, the first great empire, the first unification of Sumer, is from one of these outside people, kind of unusual. They are the Acadians. We have records of the first people to unite all of Mesopotamia. They're called the Acadians, around 2300 BC. So writing pops up about 4000 BC. It takes about 1700 years or more before somebody unites it all together. They came in from the north. and we know what language they spoke. They spoke a Semitic tongue. The way that they made their sounds in their mouth is similar to today's Semitic languages. What are some Semitic languages today? Hebrew, Arabic, are descendants of these ancient Akkadian tongue-wise, language-wise. And we have found a mask of one of them. We're not sure if this is their greatest ruler. The greatest ruler has a lot of writing, a guy named Sargon. We're not sure if this is his mask, but it is something belonging to an Acadian.